they used to have outings. I'm not sure if that was when my mother worked there, that they went up to Blackpool. I remember before Alan was born, there was an outing up to Blackpool, and I remember like being very young in the coach with all these people.
All the family went up?
No, just my mother and I went.
Right.
And
James, or your older brother? Or?
No, I don't think he did. He.
That's a great opportunity for you, isn't it?
Yeah, he obviously didn't want to go, or
thinking this is my chance for freedom, you know.
Well, he was that all the time. Yes. That was the.
Yes.
But I just remember very dark, very late at night, and all the rest. Like coming back must have been.
So again, this is like early 50s, and
yeah.
But it's amazing.
It was like a coach up there and a coach back.
Why didn't they just go to Kent for picking apples, whatever? Because that was a big thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was.
Staying down at Clerkenwell.
And that the East End.
Yes, I think that's
a big thing for the East End, I think.
But I think it's brilliant that they took you all the way to Blackpool for.
That's it. But it was such a kind of idyllic little neighbourhood that you just took it for granted, really. Especially kind of all the shops and.
Absolutely, yes.
They seem to do quite. Obviously had enough business to kind of keep going.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, now it's like big companies wanting all the money, whereas in the past it was people working and making a profit, but having to continue working and being happy with that, or putting up with it.
Yeah, it was used to have the trolley buses coming down.
Oh, that's what I want to ask. And then how did they go down Malden Road there, or?
Yeah, they went down Malden Road, Ferdinand Street. It's like the 24 bus goes now. It was the same thing.
Yes.
Only it was all the. Maybe that's why there was the wood blocks before, when you had all the tracks.
Right. Okay. Yes. Because you're saying about that, weren't you? And
then
all the wood blocks.
Later they took the tracks away and all the wood blocks and put a different covering. Road covering.
I mean, like here, Dad, because I wanted to show you, like here, this is Southend Green, and let's see, just because they had the depot, I don't know if you the depot for at Southend Green. So it's Hampstead Heath Station there. I'll just make it a bit smaller so it's and then there's Fleet. Roderick Road, Lisbon Road, and then you got Fleet Road. Yeah, and that's there. Yes, and then there's the tram stable. Did you? Was that there when you were there? It's on the corner. It's the pub now.
No, there must have been before the electric trams. There must have been horse-drawn trams.
Oh, that's what the stable.
And that's the horses for the horse. And then it progressed to. Trolley buses, electric.
Yeah, because obviously yours were electric, weren't they?
And then that stopped. Can't remember when that stopped. Must be 70s.
Right, I was going to say 60s, but 70s. So.
Yeah, maybe middle 60s, 70s.
I grew up in the 70s. I've never seen a tram in London in my life. They must have.
No, trolley bus.
I mean, all trolley buses. I've never seen anything. It must have been 60s, Dad.
Must have been, yeah.
Because I grew up. I never saw. I mean, up in other parts of the country,
I used to get it to school, and I left school about 63, probably.
So that's interesting. And I mean, interesting, like the Royal Free Hospital, like in the last century, in the.
Yeah, that's really changed. That was a kind of old. Yeah.
So obviously that changed in 20th century, didn't it? So obviously, obviously when they got rid of smallpox,
and then they,
which was amazing.
Like demolished it and built the new one. That was like very controversial. But all the hospitals in those days were quite grim. Yes. Really, they were like kind of workhouses. Yes. Yeah, well, that's must have been depressing to work in.
Yeah, I suppose people just want to avoid the dentists and because they're torturers and avoid the.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's really interesting. But brilliant, Dad. Yeah, let's stop there, Dad, because that's really good. That's really good. And have a look at.
Did they show the river there, the Fleet?
No, because it's still the Fleet River had gone by this time. Gone.
I think right along here it was probably reduced to a ditch, wasn't it, and filled in with junk anyway.
Well, that's like Fleet Road. Do you remember? I did that the building, building study, and the architect actually took me around the houses on Fleet Road and was saying that they had to have especially deep foundations because underneath, so there was the river, and then in the 1700s or 1700s they're just piling so much rubbish in that they could actually build on top of it, and so all the houses were just built on rubbish on top of the river.
Right, yeah.
So then they had to clear the whole thing out and actually have very deep. So I think well,
it's amazing kind of engineering, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if you go over to Kentish Town and that Angler's Way, I think people at the turn of the 19th century had talked about when they were kids that people would be fishing on that part. So
yeah,
but I think 19th century all gone.
Yeah, my parents were coming down there during the war. They'd just been to the cinema. There used to be a cinema
on the corner
at Kentish Town.
Is that where the stationery is now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just round the corner from there. And they were walking down Angler's Lane, and then the bombs started dropping.
They hit the cinema, didn't it?
Yeah, the cinema.
They just come out the cinema.
Yeah, they were quite lucky. Just. Coming down with all shrapnel or whatever.
Yeah, of course. That's going to kill you, isn't it?
But it's funny, they kind of tell you these stories, and at the time you're not really paying much attention. But I was just looking for where we were before the.
Oh, sorry, Dad. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, up a bit.
Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, just what was like the entrance to the flats that became here. There used to be big metal gates, like to stop cars coming in and parking. And then the gates were, when the gates were closed, they had things in the bottom, like metal rings, to secure the gates. And I was running up the road one day and tripped on one of these metal rings, went flying into the gate where you put the metal thing down, and I was just so lucky, it just went in my head.
Yeah, she punctured your head.
I had a big hole in my head, but it didn't penetrate the brain.
Yes, God.
And I had to go down Bayham Street. I was saying to my mother, will I die? Will I die?
Yeah, well, you're right to ask, but
she rushed me down to Bayham Street. They had like a clinic there, where it's on top of Charles Dickens' old house there.
Okay, yes.
At Bayham Street. And I can remember the bright light and the big needle.
Oh, Dad.
And the guy talking to my mother and saying how lucky it was it didn't penetrate.
Yes,
unbelievable.
Yeah. I'm just glad it wasn't.
These days you would like sue the council.
Oh, of course, Dad. Of course you would, Dad. Yeah. Then you just stick some vinegar and brown paper on,
And they just rushed around and removed the stuff.
Yes.
And took the gates away.
Dreadful.
Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think that was before Alan was born as well.
I mean, talking about crazy behaviour. I mean, what about the bomb sites? Which were your favourite bomb sites? Can you remember on the?
Well, at Chalk Farm Road, there's quite a few over there. There's the one across the road, as I say, that was the biggest one.
Yes. Obviously, that man had taken it over. The guy had taken it over for the business.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. but it was still like a bomb site with a venture playground with all the tyres. You'd climb up and jump off onto other tyres.
You wouldn't kick the kids out, or?
Oh no, he liked it because it's. Nice. He was there with his girlfriend, and he's obviously doing business on the telephone all the time. So it was like we were like if we were there, people wouldn't come and steal it.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously,
what was it, Brian? I forget his other name. My best friend who was further up the road, on the other side of the factory. We used to play there. And in the war, when my father went over, like D-Day +6,
yes.
And you go on the beach and then you queue up to get some food, and he was queuing up to get some food. Somebody called out to him, and it was the father of my best friend who lived up the road.
Oh really? Wow.
It was just so unusual.
Oh, what are you doing here?
And they're in totally different units.
Yes.
Because my father was in the Duke of York's Light Infantry, and the other guy was in some London thing, I think.
Yes.
But it's and I used to go up to their house and like watch television, because they had a television and we didn't. I think that's why the guy became my best friend.
Well, must be amazing, wasn't it?
But yeah, it just all seems so pathetic now when you get older.
Yeah. But I mean, talking about your granddad, I mean, like when he came to London, is it Highgate Road? There's the train place where they've got the Sainsbury's that's been built now, hasn't it? On the road at Maitland Road up there. Right,
when your grandfather.
Yes, and that was where they cleaned the trains or something, was it, or is it around here, or? Because this is Maitland Road. Oh no, sorry. Yes, this is Mansfield Road. Sorry. And then Mansfield Road goes past Gospel Lake Station, and then it's like around here, isn't it?
Yeah, Gordon House Road.
Gordon House Road. Yeah.
There was.
That's right.
A large wallpaper factory, Sharn Kids, and I think that's the first place he got a job when he came down.
Oh really? So it's not not working on the trains then at Gordon House?
No, that was a wallpaper company.
Oh, I see.
That they've converted now into like separate offices and that, but it used to be one big place. But over. If you go to like Regent's Park, if there's Regent's Park there.
Let's see. Sorry, Dale. I'll just try and make it. I'm not sure if Booth is gone. Yeah, I don't think he's gone down to. We haven't got Regent's Park just here yet. I mean, this only goes to Camden, to Chalk Farm, Dad. I'm afraid we can have a look at that another time, can we?
Right. Yeah, that's where he. He joined like the railway as like a cleaner.
Yes, yeah.
And they had like lodgings at the other side of the round. Where's the roundhouse?
It's just down. So I think we're just.
No, on the other map there's the roundhouse, isn't there?
Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah, just here. That's right. Because we walked past there, didn't we, the other day? Do you remember Primrose Hill?
Right.
So I think this is.
And up.
Is up there or is it up?
Just up here. There's a road. There's a thing, and there used to be the residences for the railway.
Didn't we
workers.
walk past it, Dad?
Yeah.
It was over that bridge.
I was saying it was a shortcut, and you were saying it wasn't a shortcut.
It's here, Dad. This side, yeah, because that's the station.
Oh, I thought. Oh, Chalk Farm Road, right?
And there was the bridge.
Yeah.
And it was just, and then they go into Coxsackie, and it's a very interesting big.
Yeah. So
it's somewhere around there.
He was in here, and he made friends with my mother's brother Albert.
That's right.
When he was working here.
Yes.
And then they were riding one day round the outer circle.
Yes.
That's when he first met my mother.
Oh yes, that's
because my mother was involved with somebody else.
Right. Yes.
But I think she was about 15 or something.
Yeah. But then after that, then he worked like cleaning on the trains.
You had to start as a cleaner.
Yes.
Then you go as a fireman.
Yes.
And then you go as a driver. Yes. So you kind of work your way up.
Where do you think he was before the war started?
He was at...
I mean, what stage was he a fireman? But he wouldn't be working on the trains by then, would he?
Yeah, he must have been, because in the war he was teaching the thing. Yeah. So this must have been like in the 30s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Because he came down when he was quite young.
Yes.
So he was born in 1919.
Yes, yeah. So say he was like 15 or something, or 16.
Yeah, he's about 16 or 17 when he first came down.
1925. No, it's 1935, sorry.
Right.
Mid-30s, say.
Yeah.
1930s. Because the only reason I'm asking is because of the story about, like, in the war, like, he was shipped off to Egypt.
Right.
And then they were supposed to be fighting in the campaign there, but then they found out that he'd been on the train, so he got shipped back, and then had to go through D-Day to get onto the trains, to then start supplying the trains.
Yeah, he had to teach. He was teaching over there of how to drive the trains.
Yes. But then he was on the trains, of course, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on the trains, and then they had to walk along the tracks before the trains, looking for mines and that.
And booby traps.
And that's when he was blown up.
Yeah.
And then in hospital for 6 months, I think, with and had
concussion, probably.
Yeah, he had lots of things. Yes. And I think that was it. Because James was born